Have you ever sent a message and waited for hours for a reply that never came? Have you ever planned something special for someone only to realize they forgot about you completely? Do you know what it feels like to give your time, your energy, your heart to people who barely notice you're there? You try harder. You call again. You show up again. You think, maybe if I do more, they'll finally see me. They'll finally care. But deep inside, there's this quiet pain, a voice that whispers, why am I always the one trying? If you've ever felt invisible to the people you care about most, if you've ever wondered why you keep chasing those who walk away, then this story is for you. Once upon a time, in a small town where everyone knew everyone, there lived a man named Daniel. Daniel was kind. Too kind, some would say. He was the friend who always picked up the phone, the one who showed up when others needed help, the one who remembered birthdays, offered rides, lent money he couldn't afford to lose. People loved Daniel when they needed something, but when Daniel needed them, silence. He would call his best friend Marcus. No answer. He'd text his cousin Jenna. Read. No reply. He'd invite his co-workers to hang out. They'd say yes, then cancel last minute. Every time. Daniel told himself it was okay. They're busy, he'd say. They have their own lives. But late at night, when the house was quiet and the phone didn't ring, Daniel would sit at his kitchen table, staring at his coffee, wondering, am I not enough? Soft rain sounds. One rainy Thursday evening, Daniel got a text from Marcus. Marcus, hey man, can you pick me up from the airport tomorrow? My car's in the shop. Daniel smiled. Finally. Marcus needed him. He typed back immediately. Daniel, of course, what time? Marcus, 6 a.m. Thanks, bro. Daniel didn't sleep well that night. He set 3 alarms. He drove through the rain, through traffic, arrived 10 minutes early. He waited. 6:15 a.m. No Marcus. 6:30 a.m. No call. 6:45 a.m. Daniel texted. No reply. At 7:10 a.m., Marcus finally responded. Marcus. Oh man, sorry. My girlfriend picked me up. Forgot to tell you. My bad. No thank you for waiting. No sorry for wasting your time. Just my bad. Daniel sat in his car in the airport parking lot, hands gripping the steering wheel. His chest felt heavy. He drove home in silence. Days passed. Weeks passed. And the pattern continued. Jenna called. Daniel, can you help me move this Saturday? He said yes. Saturday came. He showed up. She wasn't even there. She'd hired movers and forgot to tell him. His co-worker, Lisa, asked him to cover her shift. He did. When he asked her to cover his, she said no. Over and over again. Daniel gave. They took. Daniel showed up. They disappeared. One evening, Daniel sat with his elderly neighbor, Mr. Carver, on the porch. Mr. Carver was a quiet man, a widower who spent most of his days reading and watching the world go by. You look tired, son, Mr. Carver said, not looking up from his book. Daniel forced a smile. Just a long week. Mr. Carver closed his book slowly. He looked at Daniel with eyes that had seen many years, many heartbreaks. Let me ask you something, the old man said. If you kept watering a plant and it never grew, would you keep watering it? Daniel blinked. I guess not. Then why, Mr. Carver continued, do you keep watering people who never bloom for you? The words hit Daniel like a stone in his chest. He opened his mouth to respond, but nothing came out. Mr. Carver smiled gently. You think if you give enough, they'll finally give back. But son, people don't change because you love them harder. They change because they choose to. Daniel looked down at his hands. So what do I do? He whispered. Just stop caring? No, Mr. Carver said softly. You stop chasing. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling, replaying every unanswered call, every broken promise, every time he felt small. He thought about Marcus, about Jenna, about all the people he'd bent himself into shapes for, and how they never once asked, "Daniel, are you okay?" And then something inside him cracked, not in anger, not in bitterness, but in clarity. He picked up his phone, scrolled through his messages, saw all the times he'd texted first, all the times he'd checked in, all the times he'd tried, and he realized he was exhausted, exhausted from performing for people who never clapped, exhausted from giving to people who never said thank you, exhausted from chasing people who were always walking away. The next morning, Marcus called. "Yo, Daniel, can you help me move some furniture this weekend?" Daniel stared at his phone. In the past, he would have said yes immediately. But this time, "I can't," Daniel said. There was a pause. "Wait, seriously?" Marcus laughed. "Come on, man. It'll only take an hour." "I said I can't," Daniel repeated, his voice steady. Another pause. Longer this time. "All right, whatever," Marcus muttered, then hung up. Daniel put the phone down. His hands were shaking, but not from fear, from freedom. In the days that followed, something strange happened. Daniel stopped reaching out first. He stopped checking in on people who never checked in on him. He stopped saying yes to everything. And the world didn't end. Jenna called once. He didn't answer. She didn't call again. Lisa asked him to cover another shift. He said no. She was annoyed, but life moved on. Marcus? He disappeared completely. At first, it felt lonely. The silence was loud. Daniel wondered if he'd made a mistake. But then, slowly, something else happened. He started going for morning walks. He joined a book club at the library. He spent time with Mr. Carver, who actually listened when Daniel spoke. He met a woman named Sarah at the book club. She was quiet, thoughtful. She asked him questions, real questions. "How are you, really?" she'd say. And she'd wait for the answer. One evening, Sarah invited him to a small gathering at her place. "Only a few people," she said. No pressure. Daniel almost said no. But something told him to go. When he arrived, Sarah greeted him at the door with a warm smile. "I'm so glad you came." And she meant it. That night, Daniel laughed, really laughed. He talked about books, about life, about things that mattered. And when he left, Sarah hugged him and said, "Let's do this again soon." No one had said that to him in years. Weeks turned into months. Daniel's life didn't become perfect, but it became peaceful. He stopped chasing people who didn't care. And in that space, he found people who did. One afternoon, Marcus called. "Hey man, long time. I wanted to say I'm sorry for taking you for granted." Daniel was quiet for a moment. "I appreciate that," he said. "But I'm not the same person I was." "I know," Marcus said. "And honestly, I respect that." They talked for a while. It was different now. Equal. When they hung up, Daniel smiled. Not because Marcus apologized, but because Daniel no longer needed him to. "So my friend, are you like Daniel? Are you the one who always texts first? The one who always shows up? The one who bends and bends until you almost break?" Let me tell you something important. You are not responsible for people who don't care about you. You are not supposed to chase those who walk away. You are not weak for letting go. Stopping the chase doesn't mean you stop loving. It means you start loving yourself enough to know your worth. It means you stop watering dead plants and start planting new seeds. Because here's the truth, the right people won't make you chase them. They'll meet you halfway. They'll show up. They'll care. And when you stop giving your energy to people who drain you, you create space for people who fill you. So let them go. Let go of the ones who forget you. Let go of the ones who only call when they need something. Let go of the weight of being invisible. Because you, my friend, are not invisible. You are worthy of love that doesn't have to be earned. You are worthy of friendships that feel easy. You are worthy of peace. Remember, you're not weak for walking away. You're just finally walking toward yourself. And if this story touched your heart, if it made you feel seen, subscribe to Simply Historical, where every story helps you learn life. Now tell me in the comments, have you ever had to stop chasing someone? How did it change you? Let's talk. You're not alone.